Every land has its strange customs, taboos no one dares to break, stories passed down through whispers. They may sound absurd, but they're etched deep into the blood. Tonight, I'll tell you one of those stories. Mr. Rang's family lived by a river, surrounded by trees. He had 2 sons, both of whom were married. The eldest son, Bin, had a 70-year-old son named Khan. The younger son, Sin, had just gotten married and was temporarily staying in the family's storage shed. Mr. Rang had a large and spacious piece of land. On the left side there was a banana garden, and in the middle of it stood a small shrine, origin unknown, which Mr. Rang had been worshipping for years. Next to the shrine was an egg tree that stood tall above the banana plants, giving the shrine a sacred feel. In front of the house was a mossy brickyard, and beyond that, a large pond that provided water for the household's daily use. Life in Mr. Rang's family went on completely until one day, Singh gathered some money and asked for a plot of land in the banana garden to build a house. Mr. and Mrs. Rang were happy their son wanted to build a home nearby, convenient for taking care of each other in times of illness. But Mr. Rang hesitated, thinking about the old shrine they had been worshipping for years. He feared something ominous might happen if it was disturbed. He shared his thoughts with Mrs. Rang, and their son, Mrs. Rang, snapped, "You're just being overly worried. I'll call a master to move the shrine elsewhere. We'll build another place to worship. What's there to be afraid of?" Sin agreed with his mother. "Then tomorrow I'll ask my wife to prepare the offering and invite the master for the ritual." Mr. Rang reluctantly agreed. He didn't want to stand in the way of his son's desire to build a house just because of a tiny shrine. The next day, Sin brought a tray of offerings and placed it near the shrine, waiting for the master to arrive. Bin also came over to observe the ritual, ready to help move the shrine to make construction easier in the coming days. A while later, Mrs. Rang returned cheerfully and called out, "Is everything ready? The master's here." Mr. Rang, who was smoking a pipe, quickly stubbed it out and ran outside. "Please, master, come in and have some tea, then help us with the ritual." The master wore a long traditional robe with a wooden sword slung behind his back and messy hair and beard. Reputedly a very skilled spiritual practitioner in the region, Mrs. Rang had explained everything to him on the way. The master walked silently around the house, then stopped at the shrine, looking deeply concerned. Seeing his expression, Mr. Rang asked, "Can we move the shrine, master?" The master replied, "This spot is the center of a dragon vein, filled with strong yin energy. That's why people built the shrine here to suppress it. Moving it now would be dangerous." Singh grew impatient. "But isn't there any way? This land is big. Should we let such a small shrine take up all that space?" The master stroked his beard. "It depends on the strength of your family's fate. If I move it and your fate isn't strong enough to suppress the yin energy, serious misfortune could occur. I advise keeping the shrine where it is." Bin, who had been silent until now, burst out, "I don't believe in such nonsense. There's no such thing as ghosts or yin energy. Just move the thing." Mrs. Rang scolded him. "Be quiet and let the master speak." Mr. Rang bowed respectfully. "Please help us, master. We'll pay whatever you ask." The master closed his eyes and thought deeply. "Very well. I'll place protective talismans around the area to increase yang energy, but if anything strange happens after moving the shrine, you must call a master from the neighboring province to perform a ritual. I won't be able to help beyond that." Before he finished speaking, Sin replied, "Please go ahead, master. I'm sure nothing bad will happen." Seeing their son so determined, Mr. and Mrs. Rang stayed silent. The master sat cross-legged on the ground, lit 3 incense sticks, and began chanting quietly. Suddenly, from the egg tree next to the shrine, a cobra dangled down, hissing furiously at the master. He jumped back in shock. "That's a bad sign," he argued. From a distance, Ben ran up with a hoe and struck the snake, severing its head. The master fell silent and shook his head. "I can't proceed. Don't pay me. I'll just place the 4 talismans around the corners of your house." Then he quietly left, leaving Mr. and Mrs. Rang deeply worried. A week passed, and Bin said, "You see? Nothing happened. Let's just move the shrine already. Otherwise, Sin will be stuck living in that tiny storage house." Gradually, as no unusual events occurred, Mr. and Mrs. Rang relaxed. They decided to have their 2 sons move the shrine the next day. Sin was thrilled. Soon he will have a proper house. On the day the shrine was dismantled, as they dug beneath it, they discovered a strong stream of clean, clear water, and even a small piece of gold. Sin rejoiced, thinking it was a good omen. He believed the master had only wanted to scare them for more money. But Mr. Rang had felt uneasy ever since the shrine was moved. He constantly senses someone watching him, even startled at his own shadow in the sunlight. On a full moon night, as the countryside lay still under the glowing moonlight, Mr. Rang lay in bed gazing out the window. Suddenly he saw a black shadow dart across the yard. He rubbed his eyes but saw nothing. Then he gasped. The shadow was now right outside the window. He was frozen, his mouth unable to call out. Rang, sleeping next to him, heard his struggling sounds and ran over, shaking him. "What's wrong with you? Why are you so stiff? Did you have a stroke?" She turned on the light and searched for her medicated oil. Mr. Rang said, "I saw a shadow outside the window. First it flew past, then it came back standing right there. I couldn't see who or what it was." "People," Mrs. Rang scolded. "You're too old to still believe in ghosts. You must have been seeing things." But Mr. Rang was adamant. "I saw it." "Fine, I'll sleep here and see what kind of ghost it is that's scaring you." Mrs. Rang turned off the light and lay next to him. It was a breezy summer night, and the wind felt pleasant at first. Then it grew cold and the wind howled louder. As she tried to close the window, she screamed. A hand from outside had grabbed her, pulling her against the window frame. Mr. Rang jumped up and turned on the light. Sin and his wife ran upstairs in panic. "What's going on, Mom?" The record. Mrs. Rang was pale as a sheet. I saw a ghost. Your father warned me, and I didn't believe him. Then a hand grabbed mine and slammed me into the window." Sin was skeptical. "There was no one there. I was looking out the window, and when I ran up, there was nobody outside." He stayed with his parents for a while, then said, "Just keep the lights on when you sleep. That'll help." Mr. and Mrs. Rang huddled close together under the blanket, but couldn't sleep a wink. At dawn, Mr. Rang got up and lit a cigarette, deep in thought. He was worried something bad was coming. Just then, Sin's wife shouted, "Sin! All our pigs are dead!" Monsieur Guion rushed to the pigsty. Nearly 50 pigs, all about 50 kg each, were dead. He suspected what might have caused it, but said nothing. "Go find someone to buy them for cheap. Let's at least make something back. Leave one to butcher and share with the kids." Sin, his wife, added, "It's strange. They were fine yesterday. No sign of illness at all." As Mrs. Rang returned from the gate, she heard loud panic quacking from the duck pen, like someone was chasing them. Mr. Rang ran over and found the ducks thrashing about as if being strangled, and then falling dead without any obvious cause. "Must be a disease. Don't eat them. Throw them all in the fish pond," Mr. Rang said. But later, one duck revived and started swimming as normal. Oddly, it didn't return to the pen but nested in a bamboo grove near the house, laying many eggs. These strange events made Mr. and Mrs. Rang remember the master's warnings. Fear grew in their hearts. While the family scrambled to find a new spiritual master to hold a ritual, Mr. Rang was sitting and smoking as usual when he suddenly convulsed, eyes wide, foam at the mouth, limbs stiff. Sin rushed to hold him, and his wife called for an ambulance. Ben also ran over, but it was too late. Mr. Rang had passed away. Everyone cried in grief, believing he had suffered a sudden stroke. They all mourned and arranged a solemn funeral for him.